Before the blood dried on the tiny teddy bear's ear, before the baby monitored revealed the unspeakable truth, and long before the police officers whispered the words no parent should ever hear, Adaeze and Jordan thought they had done everything right. They were young professionals living their dream in Toronto, married, successful, and blessed with a bright-eyed toddler named Zion. But they had made one fatal mistake. They trusted a stranger too quickly. Adaeze adjusted her navy pencil skirt and reached for her coffee while glancing at the baby monitor app on her phone. Zion was already up in his crib, babbling and tossing his soft lion from one side to another. She smiled. "Jordan, he's awake," she called as she sipped on her heels. Her husband emerged from the hallway, tie half knotted, eyes still sleepy. They had been running on caffeine and to-do lists since Zion was born, balancing her tech consulting job and his position as a mid-level architect left little room for the rest. Jordan pecked for forehead and whispered, "Another day of hustling, baby. You sure we are doing the right thing with the nanny?" Adaeze hesitated. "We vetted her. She's from Ontario, CPR certified, references checked, and she loves children, or so we thought." Her name was Madison Claire Whitmore, 28, single, calm voice, clean background check. She had walked into their apartment 2 weeks ago with polished boots and polite smile. "Your home is lovely," she had said, eyes wandering to the baby's photos lining the walls. "And Zion, he's perfect." If only they had noticed how tightly her knuckles clenched the strap of her purse when she speaks. The interview with other candidates had left speed dating gone wrong. One was too loud, one allergic to dogs, one openly admitted she didn't do diaper explosions. Madison's, in contrast, had felt like a breath of fresh air. She offered to work odd hours, didn't mind weekend shifts, and brought glowing letters from her previous employers, two of whom they now realized had disappeared off the surface of the earth. That Monday morning, Adaeze handed over the baby bag, a detailed food schedule, and a list of emergency contacts. Madison nodded, smiling with that familiar coolness that sends chill down Adaeze's spine. "Don't worry," she had said. "I will treat him like he's my own." The irony, they would later realize, was cruel beyond comprehension. The first week was uneventful. Madison sent photos of Zion giggling on his playmat, spooning smashed bananas into his mouth, and dozing peacefully during nap time. She had even begun to leave small notes. "Zion loved the green smoothies today," and added other touches like folding his laundry and rearranging his bookshelves. Adaeze bragged about her at work. Jordan praised her to his colleagues. They had no idea they were nurturing a predator under their roof. But soon, cracks began to show. Zion flinched during bath time. He started crying at night again. His appetite dropped. "He's just adjusting," Madison said casually, brushing it off. "Toddlers are sensitive." Her voice was always smooth, but Adaeze caught something strange in her tone that she couldn't name, like she was holding something back. Then came the bruises, small, faint, almost unnoticeable at first. "He hit the crib railing," Madison explained. "Clumsy little guy." Jordan furrowed his brows. He never used to be clumsy," he whispered to Adaeze. "But what proof did they have?" Madison remained poised, gentle, and always had a perfect explanation, always. One evening, Zion screamed when Madison tried to pick him up. "Don't want," he cried, tiny hands pushing her away. Adaeze laughed nervously, but Jordan didn't. He watched Madison's face tighten for just a second before returning to its practice calm. He couldn't shake the unease in his chest. Maybe we should install a new camera, he suggested. Jordan couldn't sleep that night. The image of Zion shrinking away from Madison's haunted him. He lay in bed next to Adaeze, staring at the ceiling until he quietly slipped out and went into the study. By morning, two new nanny cames were ordered, one for the nursery and another disguised as a picture frame for the living room. He installed them on Friday night while Madison was off. You think this is necessary? Adaeze asked, yawning. Jordan looked at her, eyes serious. If there is even a 1% chances something is wrong, I'd rather be paranoid than regretful. Adaeze nodded slowly. Let's just hope we are being overcautious. By Monday afternoon, Jordan was at work when the footage started uploading to the cloud. He opened the app during his lunch break, not expecting to see anything. At first, everything seemed normal. Zion watching cartoons, Madison preparing lunch. But then, around 2:17 p.m., Jordan saw it. Zion dropped his sippy cup. Madison walked over, her face, calm and emotional, twisted for a brief second as she looked down at the spilled juice. She didn't clean it. Instead, she yanked Zion up by his arm too hard. He whimpered. Then she shoved him back into the couch, his head bouncing slightly against the cushions. Jordan's fingers trembled. He hit pause, rewind, and watched it again, this time with audio. Madison muttered under her breath, "Stupid brat, you do this on purpose." Then she turned and smiled at the camera like nothing happened. Jordan felt like vomiting. He called Adaeze immediately. "Don't panic," he began, trying to hold his voice steady. "Just come home, now." Adaeze could hear the panic away. Her mind raced. "Is Zion okay?" she asked. "Physically? Yes, but we are right. Something's off. I've got it on tape." They met at a cafe nearby. Jordan showed her the footage on his laptop. Adaeze covered her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. "That witch," she whispered, "all this time, and we smiled at her, paid her, trusted her." Jordan closed the laptop. "We are pulling him out today. No more delays." They agreed not to confront Madison right away. Instead, they drove home separately. Jordan walked in first, all smiles. "Hey, Maddie, just needed to grab something from my home office." Adaeze followed 10 minutes later, pretending she was just on her lunch break. Madison greeted her like usual, holding Zion in her arms. Zion looked dazed. His hair was unkempt, and there was a faint red mark on his neck. Adaeze's stomach flipped. "Hey, baby," she said, taking him quickly. "We are taking him to the doctor," Jordan said casually. "Routine checkup." Madison didn't object. She even offered to come along. They declined. As they walked out, Adaeze whispered in Zion's ear, "You are safe now, baby. I promise." The pediatrician examined Zion thoroughly. He had a mild sprain in his wrist and small contusion on the neck. Nothing broken, but this didn't come from just clumsiness, she said gently, pleasing and glancing at the parent. Adaeze broke down in the hallway, sobbing into Jordan's chest. "She's hurting him, Joe, and we trusted her. We left him with her." Jordan contacted a lawyer and reported the incident to Child Protective Services. Meanwhile, Adaeze didn't resume home alone with Zion, trying to mask her fury, but calm. Madison was still there, wiping the countertops like nothing had happened. "How was the doctor?" she asked with a smile. "Everything okay?" Adaeze nodded stiffly. "Fine, thank you, but we won't be needing you for the rest of the week. We will call you." Madison raised an eyebrow. "Something wrong?" Adaeze forced a smile. "No, just family matters." As soon as Madison left, Adaeze locked the door and held Zion close. "Never again," she whispered. Over the next 2 nights, Jordan relived all the recorded footage. Each hour peeled back a new layer of horror. Madison wasn't just impatient, she was cruel. She yelled at Zion when he cried, first fed him when he refused to eat. She locked him in his room for nearly an hour after he had a potty accident. She even slapped his leg for spilling milk. One clip shoot one clip shook them to the core. Zion stood by the window, crying softly. Madison walked in, clearly irritated. "Shut up," she hissed. Then, with swift malice, she grabbed him by the arm, twisted it, and shoved him to the floor. The camera caught the whimper, the fear in his eyes, the way he crawled away from her. Adaeze had to pause the footage and run to the bathroom to throw up. The worst part wasn't the physical abuse, it was the emotional torture. Madison would whisper cruel things. "Your mommy doesn't love you. You're a baby boy. And a bad boy. They will send you away soon." The slow erosion of Zion's joy made sense now. His silence, his trembleness, his sudden outbursts, they were cries for help they hadn't heard. Jordan contrasted the two references Madison had given. The first number was disconnected. The second went to voicemail. Out of desperation, he dug deeper. Reverse images searching the headshot she do include with the resume. That's when the first real clue emerged. The photo of her former employee was a shock image from a baby formula ad. Terrified, he traced Madison's social media profile. They were sparse, curated with just enough to look real. But one comment on an old post from 4 years ago stood out. "Is this the same girl who worked for the Reynolds family?" They said she disappeared after that baby got hurt. Jordan's blood ran cold. He followed that trail. After hours of internet saluting, he finally found a forgotten blog post written by a grieving grandmother in Alberta. Her daughter had hired a nanny named Madison Claire Whitmore. The baby, 6 months old, was found unresponsive one morning. Madison claimed it was seeds. No charges were filed, but the family never recovered. He showed the article to Adaeze. "She's done this before," he said, trembling. "She's done this before, and we brought her into our home." Adaeze clutched Zion tighter, who was finally sleeping peacefully beside her. Her voice broke. "We have to stop Jordan before she ruins other child, before she disappears again." They couldn't sleep that night. Jordan sat on the edge of the bed, scrolling through the videos, while Adaeze stared at Zion's sleeping face, wondering how many more bruises lay hidden beneath his pajamas. Her fingers clenched. "We can't wait for the police to drag their feet. We need to confront her." Jordan hesitated. "She's dangerous, Ada. What if she snaps? What if—" "She's already snapped." Adaeze cut him off, tears in her eyes. "She did it to our baby. You think she will hesitate to do worse to another child?" "We confronted her. We recorded everything, and we don't stop until she's behind bars." The next morning, they invited Madison back under the pretense of discussing a permanent contract. She arrived in her usual calm, unyielding, and polite self, hair in a bun, clipboard in hand. "So nice of you to reconsider," she said with a smile. "I was starting to think you didn't trust me anymore." Adaeze kept her voice even. "Sit, Jordan," hit record on his phone. They sat at the dining table. Madison crossed her leg, unaware of the storm about to crash over her. "We wanted to talk to you about something we've noticed," Jordan began. Madison's smile faltered slightly. "Oh? Something wrong?" Adaeze slammed a photo down on the table. Zion's bruises wrist. Madison blinked. "What is this?" "You tell us," Adaeze whispered coldly, because the camera in the nursery caught exactly how it happened. The smile vanished. Her eyes turned to slits. "You recorded me?" she asked, voice suddenly low. "Dangerous." Jordan leaned forward. "We recorded everything, including the moment you told our son we didn't love him, including when you hit him, including when you locked him in a dark room." For the first time, Madison's mask cracked, a twitch at the corner of her mouth, a flicker in her eyes. Then, laughter, low, chilling, hollow. You people always think you're smarter than everyone else, she said, always so proud, so trusting. You hand me your babies like wrapped present and then cry when I open them up.